Right, so we're here. Say hi. Hi, I'm here.
Hello.
So we are here, and thank you to Demure for meeting me here at the Prince Albert in Brighton. Fantastic stuff. And you are a new band on the scene, but not really new, really. So we're going to dive in and find out how this all happened. So who's going to start?
Yeah, I mean, we started at uni, like we all do music uni together, except from Riley. The thing is that it started with me and Thomas. We just decided to put together a bunch of musicians, having a couple of jams. We changed that up about 500 times. We got Josh in 2019, and I think that since we got Josh, we kind of more in the shape that we are now, like music oriented and beat oriented, of course. And then we got Jeremy joining, Riley joining, and now here we are.
Yeah, so let's do the name round again, because I didn't catch all of that. So we've got Simone.
Yep.
For Tom.
Jeremy.
Riley.
And Josh.
Josh. So 5 of you on stage. So who plays what?
Yeah.
I'm the lead singer.
Yes. No pressure.
The trousers are important.
He's the strongest.
He's not wearing
I was going to say drums. Is it drums?
Yeah, it is
drums.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. I'm the guitar player.
He's the boy.
I'm short, and my instrument is about as tall as me. Yeah. So I'm the bassist.
It's all riddles.
Christmas vibes of quizzes.
Yeah.
Something
I
like
think you
that.
may be the big cracker. Right, I play the hair and I'm a guitarist, so. Yeah.
Two guitar players.
Dong dong.
So you got together, you're in music school together, and you got together, and what kind of genre did you play together before? I mean, did you know you were going to do rock, or was it?
Yeah, it was anything that was sort of rock influence. We all have different influences, and we try and sort of gel it together since our previous understanding that our main genre is rock. Mm-hmm. And you know, it's had its failures and its successes as well. You know, it's had its...
There's definitely a level of like quite a few of our songs you can hear that there are different influences in each of them, but like we do stick under the umbrella of rock.
Okay, and what are those influences?
Well,
Loads.
we all have different interests in music, and they are like kind of fundamental like rock. But I mean, for instance, I came from a blues background with guitar, but I'm also into random stuff like cinematic stuff. Like
Yeah, I mean, I'm more like into like, I used to be a massive prog metal head, and now I'm like listening to hip hop and more lo-fi beats, so you know, there's a lot of things that brings on the plate.
Bit of K-pop in there somewhere?
Oh yeah, we don't do that.
Massive.
But
Squid Game is very good.
Squid Game is an amazing series.
K-pop was like
I would say
I mean,
Korean, that's it.
imagine a K-pop music video in Squid Game and people actually die. That would be brilliant.
I would say as a collective, it's kind of like 70s classic rock.
And it's modern music, I would say.
And like obviously some psychedelic rock in there as well, but as well as like modern alternative influences too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
As an overall.
cool.
Well,
So when it comes to the writing, for example, who's in charge of that? How does that
All
work?
of us, kind of.
Gosh,
Yeah.
how does that work?
Like-
Really, how does that work?
So
difficult sometimes.
A line each. Oh, difficult sometimes. Now, because you haven't listened back to any interviews, I always like to stir the pot in some way. So please continue. Difficult somewhat.
Oh,
Please elaborate.
I mean mostly through writing slowly. Like we in fact actually since a year ago now, the 4 of us have lived together. So we speak about a lot of like our influences
And even before that, we were sort of melting in the same pot, which was Bin. And Bin is very good at teaching us critical listening and critical feedback. So actually, a lot of the rehearsals are basically somebody's primary idea, and then we all part right onto that idea. And then we all give feedback on each other's parts.
And 3 hours have gone by and we're at half a verse.
That's where the difficulty comes.
It's rubbish! Start again!
It's really very better because like sometimes we may like write on our own like singularly, or maybe like 2 of us would write and then we will bring it to the room, demurize the song, Josh will write the lyrics, or sometimes as well we just jam. And like we've been jamming since we're together, and sometimes we can jam a song like this and then spend like 5 hours trying to figure out what we did. But the song then stays pretty much the same.
You don't record your jamming.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
We do
yeah.
now.
You still you do now.
Yeah.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Always record the rehearsals.
I think there was one day even before we got right at the drums, we had a different drummer. He couldn't make to the rehearsal, so there was a friend of mine. He's a really good drummer. He was there. We went in there like 2 hours. It didn't really make sense to play those songs. We just jammed. We had like 8, 9 songs, just like fully written, fully structured. That's been sitting there for a year because
Yeah.
we just can't get ourselves to get down and listen to what we do and re-record everything again.
It takes quite a long time to work out something that you've jammed by ear.
Yeah.
Like it definitely takes. Well, for vocals, it's probably a lot easier because it's just lines and melodies. But to work out like guitar parts from something that you just spontaneously played.
It's like how do I write down something that is so natural for me that I don't think about it. If that makes sense.
So have you ever considered just doing a gig based on that? Going out
Yeah,
and
we've
jamming?
definitely thought about it.
Because I mean that's
Yeah.
you come from blues jazz.
We were
background, that's what they
considering.
did.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were considering doing a series of live videos and we would just like jam live on camera and then releasing that on YouTube or something like that.
Because I mean, there are some bands that do it. There's a band called an Irish band called Electric Octopus, and they don't write any of their music. They just jam the whole thing. And I saw them live, I think in 2018. They do just literally jam on stage, and it was great. You know, so I don't think it's unrealistic. It's a bit of a niche though. I don't think there's many people that do it or would want to do it. It's a bit
You have to have a
nerve-wracking.
lot of a really good ear to kind of
Well, like,
make it listenable for half
Yeah,
an hour.
we like to make sure that things are as good as they actually can be.
I think-
so. Jamming is, even though it's something that we really enjoy doing and we can actually do quite well, it's not ever going to be as good as it can be
I
if
think-
we rehearse.
Yeah, that's true.
At like an open mic setting or like a night that's like specifically a jam night, then hell yeah, I'd definitely be down to do it. But
Yeah.
I think if it was like an actual gig, like to be fair, we've jammed
We-
at the
we-
end of
we
a gig
jammed
before,
with
but
it, yeah.
not for a whole set.
To be fair, it was funny because like we've been asked to maybe do an encore. People with one more
least
song, and we already played all of our songs. So we just opted to like, shall we jam on stage? And we did. And there was this one day in which we couldn't really hear each other too much on stage, and I was genuinely freaking out that like the other half of the stage couldn't hear what we were playing. So I was just watching at them for the whole time, and at some point I turned into the public. And the public was just moshing. And I was like, okay, fair enough, so I didn't need to worry about it.
That was at Eastbourne, wasn't it?
No, that was Pipeline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, when we did it at Eastbourne,
Pipeline
like,
in
we
Although we did the O2.
Oh, true, there would be
Oh,
crowd
that's
surfing.
we finished the set at Eastbourne, and then like between all the musicians and the bands, we were just jamming until like 1:30. It was really cool because everyone was just getting up and swapping instruments.
Yeah, even people from the crowd were like, can we have a jam?
Yeah, it was really cool.
Okay. So people from the crowd have asked for jamming.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe
And we
you
got
could be
paid
the
more.
niche. Maybe you could be the band in Brighton that
The jam.
jam on the
The
stage.
jam.
Yeah, the
The
jam.
Demure jam.
It might be copyright.
Set the jam. Jam. Set the jam. Oh yeah, because jam sets.
Maybe Ram Jam? No, that's
Set
copyright.
jam. Jam set.
Set the drum.
So when it comes to the songs that you actually lay down and rehearse and you write
Yeah.
and what have you, what do you write about?
I think that's more down to Josh.
Yeah,
really.
I mean, apart from one of our latest songs, Old North, I that's the only one that I've sort of had a pre-made concept to write on. So I usually write all the lyrics, and it's a combination of things really. Like quite a lot of it's about sort of my personal experiences with sort of just like emotions and stuff like that. I think it's fairly
You've had a
standard
tough
thing, but
childhood.
yeah, and that kind of stuff as well. And kind of little bit philosophical points like although to me it does definitely have a definitive meaning, like it's nice if it can be a little bit indirect so that when people listen to it they can come to their own conclusions. Like I do try to keep things like that sometimes and occasionally delve into politics and just stuff about like yeah, but not too much just because
Not as a
I think it's
Not against the Tories, let's say that.
yeah. But
Not yet.
it's more sort of emotive content and sort of stuff about I don't know. It's weird to put a edge on it really. Yeah, I think we don't have like as a band. I don't think there's one thing that we really like want to sing about, put a message out about. Like I'm not sure if we will do that a bit more, but I think
Well, I think a lot of your lyrics are about getting back up.
Yeah,
and trying again
yeah, definitely.
and not giving up.
Yeah,
I think
yeah. It's like
that's what I noticed.
like a hopeless hopeful kind of thing, you know. It's like hope isn't quite gone, but I'm you know not feeling amazing, but it's gonna get there. You know?
Yeah, I think it's the kind of lyrics that is meant to make you reflect. And like you can find yourself in the lyrics, you may find yourself in the lyrics at some point in the future, or maybe in the past and you're not that anymore. It's just like, okay, this is a song to you, now draw your own conclusions.
I think the latest release, City of Dreams, is probably listen to it on Spotify.
Listen now.
It's probably the one that has. It's probably the one that has the most collective meaning for all of us because it's sort of written about kind of moving to Brighton, the kind of expectation that you're coming to this magical city and that it's going to solve all your problems. No, it doesn't. But it
doesn't.
It's much better than I'm sure all of us can say. We are having a lot more fun here than we did where we came from. But you can't expect where you live just to solve all your issues. You've still got to work for it. You've still got to go through those trials,
do the hard graft
tribulations.
and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
So you say that you came to Brighton. So you're not all from Brighton.
None of
No,
us from Brighton.
No.
So where are you from? Yeah.
Italian stallion.
From
Italian
Rome.
stallion.
From the beautiful city of Rome.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
Dude, don't get started. Don't make my grandma come here and beat you
I
up.
prefer
I like that. Yeah. I'm not gonna, she will
we
too.
prefer the
She will.
Yeah, I can imagine.
France, actually. I was raised
Okay.
there.
most
It's
British
British,
French
though.
name.
I know. It's just, yeah. I'm like a British Hugh Grant.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why I think that I've seen you before. So you were born in Britain and
I was born in London, and then my parents moved to France with me and my brother.
Crazy story about this, right? So Jeremy went on holiday when he was younger, and he stayed in a place that was down the road from where Thomas lived as a child. And before he went there, he stayed in a hotel that's 5 minutes away from where my grandma lives in Folkestone.
I didn't know that.
Serious?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Really,
Literally
really
the road.
weird. Yeah, really
Wow.
strange.
It's that southern part of France where you get like so many English families that move down to, and then we'd go on holiday there, and we'd never even meet. I mean, why would we?
Why would you?
That is crazy. That
It's
kind
crazy,
of, you know, in the
Meant to
hippie
be.
world, meant,
Yeah.
you said it first,
Yeah.
that's fine. I let you
The
say it.
universe wanted
Meant,
it.
yeah, the universe wanted it, meant to be, goodbye and all
Yeah.
that. So you're not from Brighton?
Nobody has been in Rome yet.
Well, you know, pandemic.
Yeah, we get there. We get there.
Get your bloody act together.
So where are you from?
I'm from Pompey, well, Portsmouth. That's where what it's known as. It's more.
Not far,
Yes, it's not too far. Just south.
just south.
The very bottom of the country.
Even more so.
Yeah.
Good aquarium there, though. I have been to.
Yeah.
There's an aquarium there.
Yeah. If that's your thing. Very, it's got a good one.
It is indeed.
If you like fish.
I love it.
Yes.
Wait, he has rally now.
Everything.
It's like a
Good
disease.
stuff. So you all live together because you said you
Apart
share.
from Ryan.
Yeah, apart from rally, yeah.
Apart from
Well,
why?
yeah, we didn't.
What
We
has he
didn't.
done? He
'Cause
smells.
he-
Smells, doesn't he?
No, he has a girlfriend, that's why.
So does every one of us here.
See that loud?
So yeah, we didn't know Riley.
Yeah, to be
We
fair,
got
right.
together.
No, it's a funny story actually. I met Jeremy
Oh, yeah.
in Tesco.
Just for coincidences.
Yeah, in Hove. I moved to Brighton and I was staying with my girlfriend at the time. And I was totally unemployed, so I was just going to shops and asking for
Not just
jobs.
unemployed, like totally
You
unemployed.
couldn't be more unemployed than what I was now. It was-
Yeah, that's right.
Just
I'm just gonna check something.
Yeah.
You do know what unemployed means?
Yes.
Okay, but you were totally unemployed.
Totally unemployed.
Right. Okay, just
Assuming that unemployed means without a job.
yes, totally.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, totally. Does that mean like no cash in hand, no begging,
Oh,
no
you-
busking?
No,
Oh,
it
yeah,
just
yeah.
man.
Totally.
No, I wasn't.
He was unemployed, but he's smelt as well, so nobody would want to employ him. That's why he was unemployed.
Anyway, yeah. So I was going out loads of shops asking for jobs, and I went to the Tesco's in Hove, which is like a good 20-25 minute drive from where both of us were living at the time. So it was kind of out of the way, and I just went to, there's like a service desk, the main bit in Tesco's where you go to, and I just asked for any vacancies,
Yeah.
And
This magical land of
crazy. And Jeremy was at the desk, and I asked him, and he had a guitar badge on his shirt, and I was like, oh, do you play?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, no, I play guitar. I was like, oh, cool.
Actually looking for a drummer right this minute.
Yeah, I was
speak.
Yeah, well, I play the drums, and then just auditioned, and then here I am.
You had to audition.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys don't put any punches.
Well, we had gone through 4 drummers in the past.
Yeah. Well, we need to get the right one this
Yeah.
time, and we have.
Definitely.
The thing is that we just jam with him.
So when is
and
he
we-
moving in?
when we get a bigger house.
When you get a bigger house.
When we get a record deal, we get a mansion.
That would be good.
And the advances come in.
So you've been together, was it 2018 according
Yeah,
to
let's say that officially like with Josh and like starting writing more songs and stuff, maybe like
Mm.
early 2019 as well with Jeremy as well.
So, and it is just a question of the 2 years. How did you manage through the pandemic and the lockdown? Well, still in a pandemic, but how did you manage through the lockdown? I guess because 4 of you lived together, that might have been easier because you could
Yeah,
practice.
it was
and
easier.
stuff.
Kind
So,
of.
dunno, kind of.
We did like directs on Instagram every week for a while, and that's kind of I
Yeah.
think how we kept a bit of momentum. Like, okay, we're still here. We're not
Yeah,
going anywhere.
we try to be a lot more active on social media,
Yeah.
not necessarily making content we're like boosting too much, if that makes sense. But yeah, we try to like keep the memory alive because at the end of the day, it's all about people knowing that you're around and you're about and you're doing
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
We took the opportunity to experiment and find like what could work for us, what doesn't work, and like
Yeah.
we came up with a good system, I think. There's still room for improvement, but definitely like some of the stuff, like we tried making a podcast, we tried making TikToks, we tried everything.
Oh,
How did you find it?
for me, it felt a little forced, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I like none of us are really into that. Like, I mean, do any
We're
of
not
us use
15,
TikTok?
let's say.
We're not
Like, you know, not really.
Like we don't, none of us particularly spend a lot of time on social media. Like we use it, we utilize it, especially for the band. And
Yeah.
like we did use it as an outlet to kind of let out our more humorous side, try and like make it
Try
seem
to,
a bit
yeah.
more, you know, fun. Like
I
come
thought-
up with sketches and
I think
give
it's
us
a
some good
lot.
ones. But yeah, it was.
I think it's a lot more important. Well, I wouldn't say important, but I think when you're looking at more pop and commercial-based music, like there's definitely a massive platform for it. But it's just like, how much would our songs be shared by 10-year-olds on TikTok? I know that's like a bit of a generalization,
Yeah.
but that's kind of how it
Yeah.
feels.
And also, you know, as a band, still finding your way.
Yeah.
It's alright
Yeah.
to say, you know,
Yeah.
finding your, you know, how you work
Yeah.
together and what songs you write. Who are your target audience? Is it your own age? Is it beyond? Is
The
it?
Queen one was quite fun, and
Queen one.
I was.
Oh yeah.
And I was thinking at some point, like, even though I didn't like it too much, like, if we can find a way of doing it that feels natural for us, then I don't see why it would be a bad idea.
I think that like a year of like trying to be on social media made us realize that we're not YouTubers, we're not TikTokers, we're not entertainers. Because at the end of the day, when you think about it, the music is very wide, and like people that make videos, I don't know, for Instagram, for example, like they have a format, they have a background, they have videos that are like 1 minute long. So it doesn't really make sense to write like a full-size song when you can just write like
Yeah.
30 seconds in tapping and show that you're like
Yeah.
the best guitar player in the world because you're recording that for 3 days. When like
Yeah.
it takes a lot of time and it's something that you really have to put your focus in, and like at the end of the day, we're a band, we want to play gigs, we want to release records, we want like people to come to our gigs. So that's a whole different market from doing the same thing but on a social media. in a way.
So I guess what, you know what you're saying about performing, and it's great that it's now performing
Oh,
season.
yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
hopefully it will carry on to be, because that's where you want to be, isn't it? You just said you're
Yeah.
a band, you're on stage, you're on a gig. So really, you could take 30 seconds of a gig video and put that on TikTok or
Yeah,
any
I
other
I
platform, I
think
guess.
probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, we're getting more into like gathering material because like
Sorry.
the other problem that a lot of like newcomer bands have, I would say, is like gathering high quality material. Because it's like, yeah, you can record your gig, but if it's on a phone, even if it's a con call, but it's on a phone, the audio is not that good and everything. Like, how many people would you really still want to watch that? not a lot, if that makes sense. So I mean, even in that, like something where we're trying to develop, like as time goes more and more, to like get better equipment to record, like trying to record every gig, trying to get the sound from the audio engineer. It's just music, unfortunately, is a lot more than it looks like from when you go into
No,
a gig.
it's easy, surely.
Yeah, this is what a lot of people think about. It's oh my god, why are you on stage? You're so talented. I'm like, no, I've been studying for like 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. A lot of people do say that's like, wow, you know, I've been grafting for a very long time, so, you know, I'm glad you've noticed now, but I'm not. But anyway.
But I do feel like in this community in Brighton, people have a lot more appreciation for it than other parts of, well, like Folkestone, where I'm from. Like there's no music scene. No one really. Well, at least from my experience, like when I lived there, I don't know if it's gotten any better now, really that much, but I didn't have any friends that were into music or played instruments or anything like that. So for me, coming here was like a big, like, oh my god, you know.
They're
it was,
everywhere.
yeah,
Similar experience.
it was almost overwhelming and quite nerve-wracking at a point, especially meeting so many people that have been already doing it in their hometowns for ages, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of fresh, you know.
Yeah.
But it's good because it gets you there, you know. Unless you put yourself in those uncomfortable positions, you're not going to get used to it. You're not going to get over it and get to do it in a way you feel happy doing it.
Absolutely, words of wisdom there. Definitely, you just go out and do it, which is what you're
That's why
doing,
I've
and
got
you're
poncho wisdom.
and you're meeting other bands as well, and you know,
Yeah.
collaborating with them, putting bits together.
Yeah,
so
actually,
that's
recently
really good.
we got friends with a lot of different bands, and a lot of bands we didn't know, mostly out of Bin, which is great.
Yeah.
And we put gigs on together. We're looking like we put on gigs for them, they put on gigs for us. Like we're trying to expand ourselves again a bit.
Yeah, Brighton is very, very special when it comes to art, music, and
Yeah.
all the venues. It's just everyone's up for putting you up in some way, isn't it? It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So, nitty gritty of it all. When you get together to practice, where is that happening?
Usually Brighton Electric or Bottega.
Okay, and you set a time,
Yes.
and everyone agrees at the date and the time.
Mhm.
And who's
He's in
normally on
charge.
time and who's normally late?
Thomas is in charge
How's the rehearsal?
of booking the rehearsals.
So he's always on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
99%.
Oh, 99.
Nobody's
And,
perfect.
I mean, actually, I am perfect.
and who's late? Are you?
I am a bit late sometimes, yeah.
The thing
I
is,
mean, you've been late because of work, so it's okay.
Yeah.
It's nice not your fault.
Don't point your fingers, Josh.
the thing is, though,
So yours is not okay because you're not
I've
late
just been
because
at
of work.
home, yeah.
Just late.
the thing is,
Getting up too late.
we're all doing different things now based, like, we've all, again, apart from Riley, I've graduated from BIN last year, and you
It's just
decided to
Repeating
repeat a year because of COVID, which just wasn't fair. And I'm doing masters, like, these guys have jobs, you have jobs, you've got 7.
7 jobs.
Unemployed to 7 jobs.
Yeah, that's
No,
what
totally unemployed.
Totally unemployed.
You're one up on me. I've got 6.
But it's grounding, like, the responsibilities of becoming an adult now. That, you know,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
like,
It's
No.
it's our lives.
instead of it being that Demure was the main project that we're doing, we're now having to make time around our schedules for Demure, and it's becoming interesting with, like, having to work to make a living and live in Brighton, especially with being expensive.
Yeah, not cheap, Brighton, unfortunately. So
Better than
But
one needs a job.
with lateness and rehearsals, it's like generally we do book like a 3-hour slot, so it's like occasionally someone might be like 15-20 minutes late, and like to me I'm like I don't really get too annoyed by that because like
Because it's usually me.
that too.
That too.
But yeah, I think it's when people have got different things going on, like it's kind of understandable. It's like we can just set up and have a jam.
Okay, now don't need all this. Right, okay. It's just too nice. It's just not good enough. Okay, so when you're together and you're rehearsing and all that,
Yeah.
what do you drink? What do you eat? What keeps it all going?
Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Salad.
Salad?
Salad and red. Whoa,
We're all
that's
very
quite
different
a
people.
mix.
I don't really.
Yeah, one person. So you like salads? What, like just veggie salads?
Oh, I mean,
Salad? I've never had salads.
it's more of a recent thing, just trying to create like cabin food. We usually rehearse in the evening, so it's better to be energized and not get angry in a rehearsal and frustrated with why I'm not playing.
I try not to have beer because as a singer it doesn't really help, which
No.
is really annoying.
We don't
annoying,
do.
'cause I want beer most of the time.
Just the beer after.
Yeah.
You had the
We
beer
celebrate.
after the gigs.
yeah.
But generally, like before gigs, like I don't know, Gregorian chants, like everybody wearing tongues, like no saying anything. After the gig, we get absolutely shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the
Well,
practice.
That's
Me and
fair.
Jeremy don't because we have to fucking drive.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
see, I was waiting for that. Who's the driver?
It's us, yeah.
You're the driver. Okay, but in rehearsals, so what do you guys have? Do you just...
I don't think we're generally fueling up on much, actually.
No.
You know, in
Except the
rehearsals.
music, man.
Just air and music, man!
Yeah.
Just sex, drug, and rock and roll, not necessarily in that order.
Okay.
That's the other side of the kind of business side, which is.
Well, all sounds good to me. So, last question, I always forget, which is why it's at the end, so some of you remember. Why Demure?
Maybe you tell the
I
story.
have to ask.
It's a fact. We have two stories. The first one is that like Demure is a name that really connects with us because it means shy, and it was generally used in the 1800s to refer to women, and none of us is a woman, and none of us is particularly shy. So it's kind of a contrasense, if you know what I mean. It's like, but on the other hand, it's a word that is not used anymore, so it has kind of the fascination. The real story is that
Yeah, none of that's
the first time that we met together, I make a little demo and I call it Demure because like it's a way in Italian like to say like tiny demo, little demo and stuff. And the singer at the time, he just Google Translate. He's like, oh, so the band is called Demure. And I was like, what the fuck is Demure? And then they're like, you know what? It's actually a pretty good name, so why
Yeah.
not?
So the meaning is not so much what it's about. It's more about the story about how it comes to be. And it
Yeah,
kind of
I'm really glad I asked now.
it demonstrates like that we're all from different places and like Italian heritage and like the fact it's an English word. You know, it's represents more
That's
than
good.
what it means now.
That's good, and you've got a logo that you've put together. Who
Oh,
can answer that? Oh,
It's getting naked.
merch.
It's on the back.
Yeah, you had to get closer to the camera.
Let's do
Oh, extreme close up.
extreme
That's the logo.
There it is.
down,
Nice.
down.
Buy our
And where do they get merch? Merch.
Project
The
placement,
website.
baby.
We have got a website coming,
Is that
so
it?
merch
Yes.
will be on there soon.
You've got a
as well.
website coming.
Yeah.
In the next.
Yeah, we don't fucking.
So merch is coming, more gigs are coming. When's the next gig?
So we're playing at the Concord on 14th of December for the BIM end of term gig.
So you cannot buy merch at that one, unfortunately.
I mean, you
It's
can.
not our gig.
You can come to us and be like, I would really be interested in giving you a free offer for some of the CDs that you casually have in your backpacks, but you can't really buy merch,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Can we give it?
I think so. If it's free offer.
Give it now.
Give it away! Give it away! Give it away!
Yeah,
now.
I think they're still working on their marketing technique.
Getting there.
Okay, that's all good, but it's great that you've
But
got
yeah.
it. And turmeric.
Turmeric, wow.
Turmeric, wow.
Long stuff.
That's another story.
Well, I've got to hear it now because
Okay, so,
is it turmeric as in this?
Turmeric is
Yeah,
spice.
right. It is, right?
Yeah.
What, I was like, you're mad there?
And then the next one's going to be oregano.
Yeah.
So the story, go on, quick, last one, the story, give me the story.
We haven't planned.
As we were moving into our place, we were unpacking things, as you do,
As you do.
and there was the spices that we were unpacking, and Jeremy was unpacking my spices, and he was going through all the spices, and he got to turmeric, and for some reason he had to comment on it. I don't know why, but he said, turmeric, wow.
and then.
And I thought, well, that's my t-shirt, that is. That is
It's just not
So-
funny.
No, it's not. It was just so. It's the fact that I said it 3 times in the same day on random occurrences. I
Oh
didn't
no,
realise.
that's right. It was throughout. Actually, it's so funny. As a coincidence, I decided to make a T-shirt then and there, and I did.
Yeah.
But twice after that, for the next week or so, you said it in 2 other occasions. It was unbelievable.
And then
It just became a
Thomas,
catchphrase. I
yeah,
think.
Thomas ordered the Tim McGraw shirt, and it basically just became a random catchphrase that you
Yeah.
started
It's
bringing
actually
on
very,
stage.
it's actually very popular as
We-
well.
yeah, we-
People
we-
comment on it all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't expect it, but people at gigs for some reason they're like, oh, I like it.
Oh, is that your merch?
Like,
It's like, well, it is now.
I like that.
So we do have a logo t-shirt, which is just black, and it has Demure with the D as the logo. And then we have the Tim McGraw shirt.
And then we have
fun.
oregano comment, and I think the last one will be coming from a pearl of wisdom that Riley said, which is Jaffa cakes. Are they a cake or a biscuit?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a whole new interview. That
I
is.
had a really inappropriate idea, but I think we're going for it.
Yeah, don't tell it to the
Let-
public
let-
because they see
let-
respect you.
let-
It's a
let's
secret
say-
for the future.
It's a secret for the future, but I love that. I really, really love that, and
Yeah,
things
£15,
that
please
you know come organically.
Oh, you should be on a
New t-shirt.
We have
5%, just 5%. I'll take. That's all right. Not too much, surely. Nah, come on, man.
Sure,
Just take more.
I mean, 5% of like 0 is still 0, right? No,
Depends how much you sell.
Yeah, that's true.
Percentage of what. Anyway,
Yeah.
we can negotiate this after the interview. Thank you so much for meeting me
Thank you very
and
much.
letting us get to know you. And we're going to fire this out into the world and carry on playing your music. So definitely carry on making it because I want
Thank
to
you.
play. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Fabulous.
Listen to your dreams.
See to your dreams out now.
Bye, match.
And listen to the radio.
Bye,
And
match.
listen to the radio, yes.
Listen to YDN, do all of this.
Bye, match.
Yes, all of this. Yeah, you can press that button there.
Oh, that's where you were going.
Bye.